all types of circumstances and situations that have the ability, if you're not careful, to get you grumbling and complaining and murmuring about something in your life. And I guess I'm just different. And one of the reasons I'm different is because I understand how incredibly blessed I am. My work goes all over the world, and I have had the privilege of connecting with people who live in second and third world countries, and they don't have the luxuries that we enjoy here in America, and yet they are some of the most grateful people that you will ever meet in your life. And it lets me know that you don't have to have everything to be grateful. I feel like here in America, we're very spoiled. We, if you are not feeling well, we have the luxury of just going to the doctor and pulling out our insurance card and using it. We need more clothes. We go to the latest department store. We buy more. We want more food. We go to the grocery store. Like there are people in places who do not have access to health care. They don't have access to clean drinking water. They don't have access to a good meal every day. And we take so much for granted here in the United States that I don't think we realize just how blessed we truly are. And I think because I'm so aware of the circumstances of so many people in different parts of the world, it reminds me of how blessed I am. And even if the day is not going so great and everything is not a bed of roses, I still have something to be grateful for. And people always tell me, Jamel, where does this hope, where does this optimism, where does this faith come from that you just so exhibit all the time, where it just seems like, regardless of what's happening, uh, you're always so optimistic and so hopeful about the future? And I say it comes from God, and it comes from a grateful heart that understands that. And I've had to tell myself, a lot of people, one of the things that I have to say, a lot of people come into my life at the tail end of a journey. And so they see me today and they see me on television, they see me in magazines, they see the influence that God has so blessed me to have at this season of my life. They don't see the years of struggle. They don't see the business that almost collapsed multiple times. They don't see the skeptics and the critics and all the people that told me I would fail and the people that wanted me to fail and wanted to see my demise and my downfall and all of the things that have happened before I got here. And so some people will make an assumption that everything has just been a bed of roses and a walk through the tulips. And when you really begin to tell them a story, their eyes get big. They're like, we had no idea. And I said, of course you don't, because you come at the end of the journey. You see me in the season where a manifestation is happening of so many things that were sown for many, many years ago. And because of that, I think that's one of the reasons that I am just so grateful, because I remember. I don't forget. And, you know, while this is a season of great abundance in my life where everything is flourishing and I'm seeing so many answers to prayer, I remember when nothing was happening. I remember the seasons where I said something has to change, something has to break, something has to turn in my life. And to see what has happened in my life over these years is nothing short of amazing and nothing short of the goodness of God. And so when you really understand that, it produces a grateful heart. It produces an appreciation for life, that this life is a gift. And I get to get up every single day and to live it. And not only do I get up and live it, but I have the ability to speak life into other people. And that I have so built a platform and a reputation that people trust me enough to speak into their lives. People trust me enough to call on me for wisdom and insight and to pray with them and to walk them through different seasons of their life. That in and of itself is a blessing. And so I'm just extremely grateful and extremely appreciative for everything in my life because I realize just how blessed I am, just how whew, abundantly supplied I am in so many aspects of my life. Let me keep going. It doesn't take much to grumble and to complain about your life. I mean, let's be honest. We go places every day, and you always come into what they call the negative Nancy or the toxic Tom that you see in the grocery store or at the gas station, and they're just all negative about the prices and how bad everything is in the world. And, I laugh because a lot of times we here in the United States are very spoiled. The same people complaining about gas prices have a car. I know people in countries who have no car. They walk until there's blisters on their feet and they're bleeding. They don't have access to transportation. They don't have a grocery store to go to complain about prices. They're trying to do whatever they can to survive and to make it through a day. And I think we just forget because we have so many luxuries and accommodations here that we just forget how blessed we are. There are people living in undeveloped countries or developing countries where they have coup d'etat and all of these crises and scandals in their governments. Their countries are in a mess. They're running for their lives. I mean, there's information I'm privy to that everybody's not privy to. And I'm like, we just don't have a clue here in the United States. Some of the things that we major on and we make such a big deal, other parts of the world would love to have some of the things that we take for granted. And because I understand that, it so grounds me and anchors me and helps me to keep so many things in perspective. What I know is that bad news travels at lightning speed and good news hardly travels up the road. I mean, let's be honest. We live in a culture and a society where if you turn on the television, gossip, backbiting, divisiveness, vindictiveness. Those are the things that thrive. Good news stories and upbeat things and stuff like what I like, empowerment and building people up and helping them reach their potential. Those are not going to get you the most likes and applause from people because people want drama. They want something juicy. They want gossip. And good news, it takes a moment for good news to travel in the world. And so we live in a culture that is conditioned to be negative. We just have to be honest. Our news, our media, everything is geared toward negativity. And, that was one of the things when I started on social media years ago. I said, if I'm going to be on social media is not going to use me. I'm going to use social media and I'm going to create a platform of empowerment where, regardless of the trash that may be in people's feed and they may be scrolling and seeing all of this garbage, when they land on my platform, it's going to always be a place of empowerment. And I have stayed true to that for many years. And I'll always stay true to that because people need empowerment. We don't need gossip. We don't need to hear all of this negative commentary about everything in the world. People need to be uplifted. People need to be encouraged. People need to be strengthened. People need to be challenged to break out of mediocrity and to live to the level of their potential. We live in a culture that is conditioned to expect and believe the worst. It never ceases to amaze me when I come in contact with people and automatically, about this person or that person, they automatically believe the worst. And I say, but you don't even know them. You know nothing about them. You have no reference to draw this from. So why are you so ready to believe the worst? I believe that a genuine heart, a loving heart, is always ready to believe the best. Now, I'm not naive. and I was not born yesterday. I'm very discerning, but I'm ready to believe the best.